I go into the pantry, I'll be like trying to avoid eye contact, you know. Hey guys, today I'm having lunch with Nasha from the company.
Hello.
Hi Nasha, thanks for joining me for lunch. Can you tell me a little bit more about the company?
Okay, so the company is actually been acquired last year in November 2018.
Okay.
So we're a space that would like to hold all the tech community together in one office, so that they can actually connect and collaborate. So we do have like events, also community events for our members to actually get together. And besides Singapore, we also have other spaces in like Cebu, Bangkok, and actually we're based in Japan, so we have like 4 co-working spaces in Fukuoka.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you happen to know why is it called the company? Because it's really very difficult for me to explain to other people. Like when I say like
so you have that.
people ask me like where's your office, right?
Yeah.
And I have to say it's at the company. Which company?
I know, right?
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure you have a hard time like explaining to people like where you work, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the vendors like asked me, okay, who should I bill it to? Oh, can you please bill it to the company? And he was like, oh, yeah, the company. Which company? Yeah, the company. Oh, so the name of the company is the company? Yeah, I was like, okay, I'm sorry, but I guess because it's a co-working space, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not exactly too sure why, but I guess it's because like, we're representing a lot of companies.
There's some form of pun involved, right? Like you know, work, company, and then you know, people coming together as like one as a company.
Yeah.
Accompany each other.
Yes.
How is it for the company? Like, especially like you know, there's a lot of competition around, especially around the company. You know,
correct.
There are many other co-working spaces, and they are very in close proximity.
That's true.
Yeah. So, what are you guys doing to like fend off that kind of competition?
Okay, so what I noticed in the co-working industry, right? Like many years, not many years ago lah. I mean, 3 years ago, co-working space was still quite new in Singapore. So there were not much co-working spaces, but so within these 3 years, like co-working spaces are just like booming. You know, it's like be it like small companies or the big ones, right? The big players. So it's like super competitive. So what I noticed between us and the other co-working spaces, for the members here, it depends on the kind of industry or the kind of needs that they require. Because if we are competing against price, then nobody will ever win. Because you're just making loss at the same time. Especially in this kind of location, we're located at City Hall. It's central district. We give something that's different, maybe in a way that can accommodate to all these like startups. This is what I heard from the people that visited other spaces. Then they like gave some feedbacks to me. That actually once they sold their part, like they sold their offices or their memberships, then the people there will be just like, okay, I'm done. That's it. But they don't really build like a connection with the members at the space. Unlike us, because I feel that we are connected to our members. We would like to accommodate whatever that we can. Yeah, for example, like if they need help with boosting up their events or boosting with their social media page, we would try with whatever ways that we can to help them. Whereas some of these places, for example, maybe they might charge them for that. Yeah, but we just would like to work together with our community here so that we can also grow together.
That reminds me of that time where you helped us like come up with that A4 size promotional collaterals, you know, for our event. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Yeah. So do you find that generally there's a Japanese crowd that is attracted to your co-working space, like because it's a Japanese company?
I will say the kind of people here is not like just locals or just Japanese, but it's a good mixture of people of different backgrounds. Right? Like some can be from like France or Germany or wherever. So it's like a good mix lah. But I can say that there's quite a number of Japanese here. since it's a Japanese company, so they belong to the tech side of the industry also. Yeah, for example, like Beyond Global, Kubab, Repro, so they are more to like the tech industry. Because the management here, like our directors and our manager, they're also Japanese. So I guess having someone in Singapore of their own culture and race, I guess it provides like a comfort zone at the same time. Yeah, because honestly, if let's say I were to be in like Japan, for example, and then there's a Singaporean community, I would like to be a part of that also, so where I can at least feel like home.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. That's true. So Nasha, how do you get into this role of a community manager with the company?
So since coworking is new, right? Not many people actually have like background in like coworking space. I guess I was doing sales back then, selling like digital signages to like hotels and all that. So I was like looking for an industry that I can target also. So then I came across a co-working space. So it's I was curious about it. So I was like, hey, what is a co-working space? Like, so I was trying to see like kind of things that they provide and all that, and I grew to find that it's actually interesting. So I was like, yeah, I need to know more about co-working spaces, and I find that it is actually something that's beneficial for entrepreneurs and startups. I can learn a lot of things. I can build a lot of connections with other people. That's when I actually like, hey, I think I want to try to go for a co-working space.
So how's your journey so far? Like being a community manager, right? Like what are some of the interesting things that you see? What excites you about your job as a community manager?
What I like about working here is that I get to meet a lot of people. There's always like different people, like every day trying to find out more about the co-working space. And I like that I get to connect with my members. So the funny thing is, right, it's like sometimes you think that okay, maybe it's just like a co-worker, like maybe they are my customer, that kind of thing, but eventually it kind of bloomed into a friendship. So it's not only about working together but building a relationship with the people here. So that's what I really like about working here so far. And the kind of things that I get to learn, for example, more about maybe marketing, the blockchain industry and all that. So I'm actually having more knowledge.
Also, that is true, like the events that are held here.
The events that are held here, because even though like we just have the event, right, but I mean, like, since you have to be there and you have to, understand the kind of people that we need to know, right, for that's interested in this kind of events that we are hosting. So that's when you can just like pick up and slowly. I mean, I won't say that I'm an expert in like blockchain or what, but at least I know like just at least parts and bits and pieces of the space.
Do you think that it's important for people who wants to become community managers, or they want to have like co-working space, operate their own co-working space? Do you think that it's important for them to learn, like to want to learn everything, even if it's useless to them?
No leh, I won't say it's actually you don't have to learn like every single thing but I won't say like, for example, like marketing, the kind of industry, let's say marketing, let's say blockchain, let's say fintech and all that. You don't have to learn like in depth of it, but at least get like the surface, like to understand what like what kind of industry they are, that kind of thing. So that at least that you are able to open up with your community over here also. So what do you think of the co-working industry so far?
I think that it's really crowded.
It's really crowded.
I mean, they're like, I'm just so amazed that that there can be so many like co-working space sprouting up, even though like there are already many of them around. But generally, I think that the key to co-working space is actually to a successful co-working space is actually to have like to build a community, and then to build that community, we need to have like lots of events and so on. If I'm looking for a co-working space, maybe another co-working space, I think I will look for those that like give me the kind of opportunity to like mingle, lots of it, to like mingle and so on. Yeah, I think because like the whole point of going into a co-working space is about it's about like the interaction.
Yeah.
Because if without the interaction, then it's as good as like leasing an office and then you just do your own thing, I just do my own thing, that kind of thing. In general, I think the spaces are sprouting up. But the thing is that there's so much more that I think that co-working spaces can do to help their members or to facilitate lah. It's not even to help, it's more like to help make things happen, like facilitate, to catalyze certain kind of interaction.
Okay.
Yeah, I think generally the industry can look at more of those, being a bit more proactive with the members. Yeah.
What I noticed, right, like some co-working spaces have a specific industry. Like for example, like the creative, the tech, and some is just like very vague lah. Like they say, oh, there's no specific industry. They just like anybody can be part of this community. But what kind of community would you like to be in? Like, does it matter?
I think I'm in a very unique position in a sense of like as long as they have interesting stories to tell, or as long as they want to advertise with us, then we want to be there. I mean, for us, we're doing media, so like it would be good if there's like a
very
like a variety of profiles, companies, and so on. Yeah, so that will be interesting for us. But on the topic of that, like many different styles. Do you think that those that are catered towards an industry works best, or like?
I mean, like anybody can be a part of our community.
Okay.
But majority of us are the tech.
Okay. Yeah. I see. The company is also kind of interesting in the sense of like it can even be geographical region kind of specific. Like you guys can sell yourself as like Japanese.
Oh yeah.
Like if you want, it's like a good entry point to Japan.
I guess always will work. At the end of the day, it's what kind of industry or what kind of things that you need in a co-working space. So for example, like people like you from SBO, you guys require all kinds of walks of life in their business business world. So obviously you want someone a place that's that have a lot of industry, different kind of industry. For example, maybe a business that does retail, a business that does marketing, a business that does HR or whatever. But I guess, for example, when you are coming from a niche community, for example, if you are doing something specific, you would like to be in a community that is also doing this, not exactly same thing but relatable. So you can actually collaborate together. So I guess it also depends lah.
How long have you been in this industry?
1.5 years.
1.5 years. Okay, so like in your 1.5 years, are there any memorable companies that you have like encountered as members, like or any like very strange one?
Very strange one. Of course lah. It's not exactly that strange. They're in a co-working space, but they choose to like isolate themselves, that kind of thing.
Very secretive.
Very secretive. Like don't really open up more. Don't even like want to tell us the company name, that kind of thing.
Then how does it register as a member?
It just says like maybe like freelance.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. What would you advise members, not just your like from the members from the company, but like generally people who are using co-working spaces? What advice will you give them to like maximize their experience with the co-working space?
Be friendly.
Have you met a lot of unfriendly people?
Not a lot lah.
There are lah.
It's okay. Maybe it's not friendly. It's people are shy. Yeah, actually they don't mind talking to you, but they're just shy. Yeah, for example, there'll be like awkward moments, let's say in the pantry or what, like doing your coffee, and then there's another person from another company and they'll just like
Yeah, like pretend that nobody's there.
Nobody's there. Yeah, so I guess people have to like open up themselves more and just as simple as saying, hi, nice to meet you. Or like, hi, I'm like Nasha, like which company are you from? But people are just shy. I'm not sure whether we are Singaporeans or maybe we just tend to be reserved sometimes.
Yeah.
But my advice is be friendly. That's the number one thing if you're in a co-working space.
Okay.
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy. Like be more,
actually, right,
be more friendly.
like for me, right, I think I was quite introvert. Like I really do not know how to talk to people. Actually, I'm like an introvert. I do not know what should I be talking to people. Like for example, these networking events. But I have learned to actually like talk to people and ask like, hey, how are you doing? That kind of thing. So it's actually interesting. Yeah, I'm very shy, you know. I have to force myself not to be shy.
Hey, but you're doing a good job though.
Yeah.
You're doing a good job. There was this report on like HSBC, you know, taking up a lot of space at a particular co-working space which we are not going to name.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like even companies are subscribing to co-working spaces.
Yeah.
They are going into co-working spaces.
Yeah. Even for a company that as big as 200 people, we are trying to engage a co-working space to actually run it for them. Yeah, we do have actually inquiries for that number.
Oh, wow.
People go for co-working space because it's convenience. Everything is settled for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to think about anything else. It's like your bills are all under one sheet. Right? You don't have to think about like setting up, tearing down, or buying like this furniture and that furniture just to set up an office.
Now that the competition is all about space, right? Like who gets the nicest space, and then you know. But where is the next battleground? I mean, my sensing is that I feel that everybody is starting on this like community, you know.
So instead of community, what else do you think it will be?
Yeah. Personally, I think that it will be. I mean, events is starting to come out. But I think that is in response to the need to build communities. Yeah, so when you want to build communities, it's good to have like events, you know, to let people see like what's happening in the co-working space. And also at the same time, you know, it gets the members involved. You know, it's like an avenue for them to like mingle.
Yeah.
And there are other co-working spaces that are very strong with events already.
Yeah.
But I think other co-working spaces, they are like waking up to this idea that, hey, you know what, you know, events, we have to pay attention to events right now. Yeah.
I agree actually. Yeah.
So I think that's like probably the next battleground where everybody will start to like, you know, whose event is better. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I guess having an event also will get people to be there and actually, you know, want experience and want to come back, you know, because events is something that's insightful, something that they can learn from. Yeah. So at least there's a value added to the space. Yeah.
You know, does it affect or does it help your operations? Like having this cafe that is independently operated in the middle of your co-working space. Because Kurasu kind of like splits the space into half. Right?
It helps us in terms of getting people to know more about the space. You know how people love having cafes? So we actually allow like members of the public to come over and have their coffee over here. Okay, because I'm not too sure if you ever noticed one of the days when Kurasu was closed and then it's just like creak. Like it's very quiet. Yeah, so it gives off a vibe, a nice vibe in a co-working space, having a cafe here. So I find that people also can get to know more about co-working space because they have quite a lot of their customers will come to us. Oh, is this a co-working space? I would like to know more. Yeah. So we have walk-ins because of them also.
Oh really? Wow.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of reminds me of like, you know, there was this period of time where every salon is opening a cafe. Every like boutique is opening a cafe.
It's like something like for the men at the cafe, then the woman will be going like around shopping. Within the space, right?
It didn't even peak. It kind of died down.
It's like go up and then I don't really know much about it right now.
Do you think that, you know, like co-working spaces will start having this trend also, like independently like operated cafes inside? Do you think so?
Yes.
But I don't want to pay for my coffee. Once again, thank you so much, Nasha, for joining me for lunch. Okay, even though we barely eaten, but thank you so much for joining me for lunch. And we'll see you in the next one.
Yeah.
Hi everybody, I'm here today with Nasha. No. Why am I so nervous? Why am I so geekly? Nasha, thanks for joining me for Hi everybody. Should I say like, yo, what's up guys?
Yeah, it's like, hey, what's up, guys?
Yeah, I don't know. Is it suitable or not? It's not. Okay, cringy. Okay. Squeeze. I had a question in my head. I forgot. Why today I kind of regretted that I got part time because like it's a bit difficult to.
That's why I get fried rice.
Hey, smart you.